What's up, Dolphins Nation? We're back with another video on this awesome Victory Monday. Today, we're going to be talking about the Dolphins and how they overcame a 21-point deficit against the Ravens and how the team played. Before we get started, make sure you guys subscribe, like, and share. I would really appreciate it. To let you guys know, we are going to be posting most likely a film breakdown tomorrow. Um, if we don't, we'll do a preview on the Bills game on Wednesday and a prediction video for that game as well. And then on Thursday, we'll do our week 3 NFL predictions. And then either Friday night or Saturday night, we'll do a hype video for that Bills game. Really excited about that game. But let's talk about the Ravens game. First Tua had an awesome game, career game, 469 yards, 6 touchdowns, 36 for 50. And he did have 2 picks. Let's talk about that real quick. Um, the 2 picks, the one in the first quarter, I believe, is on the first drive. Um, Looked like a good drive, and then he tried hitting Tyreek on I think it was a comeback route. Um, but the safety read it good. It was kind of weird because it was like it looked like it fell on the floor, but it kind of bounced. I think it bounced on someone. Someone caught it. Um, Not a great decision there, but at the same time, that interception was just kind of one of those that like it bounces on off someone's leg and gets picked, or someone picks it up. Not like a horrible throw, just maybe a little bit late. But then on his second interception, he kind of just forced that. He threw it. He didn't read the safety. That was a bad interception. Um, but let's talk about how great he played. You throw out those interceptions, and he has a perfect game pretty much. But 6 touchdowns is something that I don't think anybody really expected, and 469 yards. That's that's just crazy for you know he hasn't put up those numbers. I think the most he had in a game was 316 yards, and that was against the Chiefs, and most of those that was in 20 his rookie year, I think, and most of those were just points, like just throwing the ball up, trying to come back. Had some plays he was saved on, but yeah, it was a great game from him. And their wide receivers, Waddle had 11 receptions, 171 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And then Tyreek Hill had 11 receptions, 190 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Um, the running game was um, not that great, but you don't need it to be be great when you have those type of receivers in Waddle and Hill. Um, but Raheem Mostert, yeah, it was um, they didn't run the ball great or horrible, but it was they had a good run game. Mostert 51 yards, 11 carries, and Chase Edmonds, I believe he had 30 around 30 yards, but he was so I'm getting some passes. He's gonna be more of our kind of our receiving back. Runs the ball too. He had that big run to set us up for that play to win the game. Um, but he's a receiving threat as well. So expect to see a little bit of a mix there. More usage of Raheem in that run game. Um, but back to let's go to the defense, and then we'll go over like the stats and that type of stuff. Defense, we expected them to pretty much shut down Lamar like last year. At least I thought they would slow him down. But that's really not what happened in the first 3 quarters. He had a career game, throwing for over 300 yards, rushing for over 100 yards. I think he had 3 or 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Um, he had a great pass to Mark Andrews in between two defenders. That was a great pass. But he had a great game, and really, what the defense we couldn't contain him like we did last year. Kind of figured it out, but when we got into the fourth quarter after that big run from Lamar, things kind of changed. We got stops, quick stops, um, and then when we were down by a score, it was 3-2, third and two, I think, and or third and three, and Lamar, they ran a QB draw, and he got stopped by Sealer, yeah, it was Sealer, and then it was fourth and one. They did it was a QB sneak, and then that whole that whole defensive line just um stuffed that, and we got that stop. Um, but they did a great job in the fourth quarter, especially giving back the ball to the offense, giving them a chance. Um, and one thing, like, yeah, they allowed him to have one of his best games of his career, if not his best game. Um, and we still won, which is we've been accustomed to the defense really winning us games. This game, the offense won us the game. And going back to the offense, um, yeah, let's talk about um, we're gonna talk about kind of like the routes and stuff that Tyreek and Waddle and kind of that offense. Um, let's see. So let's start with Jalen Waddle. Um, Jalen Waddle had him and Tyreek had a bunch of yards after the catch. Um, he had when we were backed up in our end zone after we stopped the Ravens at the one. That was also a big play. Um, Tua threw it to Waddle over the middle, like around I think it was the 17-yard line, and Waddle took it all the way to the 60, and then he had multiple short receptions that he took for for 10 to 15 yards, and then he had the excuse me, another over the middle pass that he also had for 15 to 20 yards. And he had a great game, 11 receptions, 171 yards, two touchdowns, great game um, for Jalen Waddle. And then to Tyreek Hill, he had a phenomenal game, and he came out with cramping, and he still had 191 yards, two touchdowns, 11 receptions. But he was used um, a lot deep this game, had a 50-yard touchdown. Um, Tua threw him he was on the left side of the field. They had a defensive breakdown. Um, Tua threw a 40-yard pass to him. Tyreek took it for another 25 yards. It was a 65-yard touchdown. Um, and then he had some over the middle 20-yard reception, 15. And then he had some shorter ones there. But great game for him and Waddle. They definitely, without them, we wouldn't have won this game. Um, but another guy that wasn't really a lot of talk about him and trading him and stuff like that was Gasicki. Gasicki had a nice touchdown grab in the end zone. Affected the game um, more than last week. Last week didn't really do much, but impacted the game for us. Back to Tua. Tua is actually leading the league in passing yards right now with 740 passing yards, I believe. and he's leading the league in touchdowns. He's tied with Mahomes with 7, and Waddle and Tyreek Hill are leading the league in receiving with Tyreek Hill at 1 and Jalen Waddle at 2. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about the game and what videos you want to see. But other than that, thank you for watching. Go Fins.